Next up on the agenda, we have loneliness, authenticity, and connection. So this is in response to a video that I saw the other day. Where was it? It was on YouTube. Go figure. That's where I spend most of my time these days. It was on video on YouTube, a really cool channel. I got the link there in the show notes so you can check it out. But loneliness, authenticity, and connection. So in most of the text here is actually the Gemini summary. So this video provides a comprehensive analysis of the loneliness epidemic from psychological, neurological, and deep philosophical perspectives. It makes the case that solving the crisis requires collective transformation and not just individual effort. Probably some truth to that. So it starts off, you can read the notes. I'm not going to just read them to you. The Invisible Epidemic, it gives the stats on loneliness. How many people feel it? I know if there's 3 other people watching this right now, at least 2 of you has been lonely in the last week. All 3 of you have probably been lonely in the last year. It is in some ways worse than it used to be. Although loneliness, I think, was always a part of life. I don't think it's entirely new, but the epidemic side of it is, including how prevalent it is and how many deaths it causes. The health impact. So like the bottom 2 points here, I'll get into here. Loneliness increases hypervigilance for social threats. So your brain becomes overly sensitive to signs of rejection or criticism. And this kind of makes sense, right? If you're lonely and you want to be with people and it's not happening, on some level, you're probably blaming yourself for some of it. So every time you're in a social situation and you're not finding what you want out of it, you may be blaming yourself. And I know from personal experience, I have been there. A little bit during COVID, and frankly, even like 5-6 years before COVID, I had a manic episode in 2016, and I really, I got a little like paranoid, and I didn't even really want to be around my friends necessarily. I didn't. Long story short, it wasn't good. I felt very lonely for a long time. I've worked through it in a variety of ways. Some of it really spoke to what they were talking about in this video that I thought was worth sharing. And it talks about maladaptive social cognitions. So this is that hypervigilance showing up. Like, oh, now I'm lonely. I'm feeling like it's my fault. I'm in a conversation. I don't get what I want. What did I do wrong here? I'm looking for what I did wrong because, again, my brain is a problem-solving machine. I'm trying to figure this out. Clearly, I did something wrong because this other person must be normal. They're not. They may be lonely and feeling socially awkward too. Everybody's really in their own head. You just don't know what they're thinking. So that's the start of the video. The next section is all about philosophical pathways to authentic connection. Because again, like I mentioned just a few moments ago, this lack of connection isn't new to our generation. It's not new now. It's probably more widespread on some level than it was before, including like this concept of we live in smaller families. We move all around, so we're not even around our family compared to before. And like without the media before, there's a lot more social interaction to entertain people. And God damn it, we're just built for social connection. We're wired for it. Like if you go walking and talking with someone, from my understanding, like your rates of breathing get in sync. Your brains literally get in sync as you're walking and talking. And we are built for that. We're built to exist in tribes and understand that our survival is somewhat dependent. Our thriving, at the very least, is dependent on having good relations with other people. There's no, like the tribe always beats the individual. So growing your tribe and having a tribe to watch your back is important. It's not just, oh, you're not cool with yourself. You can't be by yourself. So philosophical pathways throughout history. Loneliness, there's condemned freedom. Loneliness is a form of bad faith, a refusal to accept the anxiety and vulnerability that comes with making authentic choices in relationships. And so the part that I really like about this one in here is the highlighting the word authentic, because you could be lonely and you could go into a crowd of people and know they're all football fans. And let's say you don't like football and you go in and pretend you're a Packer fan just because everyone else is. And you may get like some level of interaction and some approval from them, but it doesn't really, it's like worse than not having any at all, because there's this concept in Buddhism, like you always have yourself. Your relationship with yourself is the most important. You never have to be alone. If you're with yourself, you know who you are, you're authentic, you love yourself, you're always in good company. And I know that's not the entire picture, but that is like the foundation, the solid basis for any of it, is to be comfortable with yourself and be good company for yourself so that you can feel comfortably being authentic. You don't have to try to be somebody else to please other people because you need someone else's validation. Start with your own validation. And if you're going and you're giving up authenticity for connection, you're leaving yourself even more vulnerable, because then you go back in private and you're like, you don't have a connection with yourself anymore. You've severed the one true, like, most important connection you have is to yourself. And you've disavowed that, you've damaged that by not being authentic. And when you are able to be confident and be authentic and be who you really are, you're strengthening that part of you, which is more important than whatever validation you get from people you can't be authentic around. And you're doing the right thing, because that's the only way you will find people that will like the authentic you, is to be the authentic you. You can't expect to pretend to be someone you're not, get validation and make friends with other people, and then somehow find the people that would like the real you. You just have to be your real you and do your real thing and connect to people along the way. So that was Condemned Freedom. Infinite responsibility to other. This is loneliness, and I've found truth in this too. Like, loneliness is a focus on yourself, a real focus on yourself, and we focus on other people. You want to connect with other people. That means you have to actually connect with them. You have to focus on other people. You have to take the emphasis off of the validation you want, the people asking you the questions about things you want to talk about. You have to put the onus on other people. You put that energy into other people. That's in part how you give it back. You know, like, to quote the Red Hot Chili Peppers, give it away, give it away, give it away now. Give it away. You have to give away what you want. You have to give away that connection. You have to give away that connection, and that it transcends your own concerns. Again, it's that word, like, transcendence. Like, you want to be. There's real power there. There's one of the things they talked about in this video, like, called helper's high. Like, I've done a ton of volunteering over the last 15 years, and it's real. I've done running too. Helper's high is just as good as runner's high. I go running. Sometimes it always feels great. You get up to like 2-3 miles, always feel fantastic when I'm done. When I go volunteering and when I'm helping people, no matter how tedious it is, no matter how much effort it is or work it is, always feel great when I'm done. There's really a helper's high, and that loneliness can be fought by taking the emphasis off of you, putting it on other people, specifically helping other people, because then it's not like, they talked in this video about, it can be like, in some cases where it's like around an entertainment thing, there's a lot of social pressure to be funny or to be this or to be that. And if you're trying to struggle through loneliness and negative thought patterns, you can get stuck in your own head. Once you're helping other people, you're no longer stuck in your own head. You're focused on the other people. Your beautiful problem-solving brain will do its thing, and it'll figure out the how, and it will reward you with the helper's high. So something they really stressed in terms of beyond the philosophical part, the volunteering with like-minded people, the volunteering part is great for you in multiple ways. And then it gives you that chance to meet like-minded people that, if you're authentic when you're helping homeless people, you're going to be around other people that are authentic helping homeless people. You're going to find your tribe. So anyone lonely out there, both seeking, if it's something you need help with, if it's like Alcoholics Anonymous or something, Lonely People's Club, either going there to provide help from things you're learning or practice skills you're learning, or to get help from other people doing the same thing. Again, like finding your peers, helping people, giving other people a chance to help you. believe it or not, is also helping people, right? It's this virtual cycle. So that I think is all within the sphere of infinite responsibility to the other. And guess what? If you're religious like me, I'm into Christianity and Buddhism. I learned a lot from those faiths. Jesus Christ was all about helping other people. He was onto something there. He knew what it's all about. He said, he said you're supposed to help people. He said the greatest commandment is love your God and love other people like you love me. And this is what it's all about. And we're not going to get into God. That's a whole other discussion we could have some other time. But help other people. If you're lonely, this is part of what it suggested. I cannot, 10 out of 10 would recommend, could not recommend more. So do we get into a little bit more almost psychology stuff? I, thou versus I, it. Referring to other people or thinking of other people as subjects instead of objects. And it's kind of, I think the most, one aspect or one way to think about this is it comes back to that you're hypervigilant, you're in a social situation and you're used to thinking you're awkward and it's not going well. You're hypervigilant. You're almost at that point on some level thinking of the other person as a subject instead of an object. If you think about them as an object, it's perhaps easy to understand that they could be socially awkward. You have no idea what's going on in their head right now. It could be anything. They're a thou, they're another person. And that gives you liberty to have your odd thoughts, and it gives you liberty to be that kind of awkward and authentic. And that's the way it is, man. Like that's the way it is. Those moments of awkwardness are opportunities to help other people by showing grace. Whether they're being awkward and you're making no thing of it, or I don't know, whatever. That's I, thou. Being with human existence is fundamentally relational. Loneliness is a forgetting of this essential interdependence, which is restored by engaging in shared meaningful projects. So again, shared meaningful projects. Get involved with things that support your community, your local community, that are shared hobbies. Find new people. If you don't have enough people in your life, find new people. And I think one of the things I've learned about finding new people is you don't need a crowd of people. Most people need like 1 or 2 people, 3 people they can do regular things with and get a lot of their social interaction with that person in the context of something they're doing. And then you fill in some of the other gaps with like, hey, I'm the kind of guy that always tells jokes to cashiers at stores. They hate it because they got to treat me like I'm serious, right? Because I'm a customer. You can't laugh at the customer if he says something, but I'm always telling dad jokes. I'm like, no, it's okay. You can laugh. That was funny, right? Right? It was funny. Trust me. It was funny. It was funny. So yeah, human existence is fundamentally relational, and it's a nice thing about going out shopping too. You can even give people compliments like, hey, nice shoes or whatever. Like I make it a habit to try and talk to people at the gym because we're there for like 45 minutes together. And I talked to a guy on Saturday, and then he came back over and said hi today, and it was great. So I highly recommend, like, if you've got a few friends, mixing in some of that other stuff to, again, get like consistent practice in social situations, to give yourself a pat on the back. Even if you try and it doesn't go well, you tried. That takes bravery. That's part of the path towards getting better at it. So it's all good. It restores your faith in humanity because, hey, that guy was wearing something that I hate the Bears, and he's wearing a Bears thing, but I talked to him like he was a normal person, and maybe I shouldn't hate the Bears so much because we're all in the NFL, right? Packers, Bears, anybody? You know where I sit. Wisconsin for life. So that's the interdependence. Hannah Arendt, who is a brilliant political philosopher, talks about plurality and action. Loneliness is a lack of space of appearance where one can reveal their unique identity and make a meaningful contribution through action and speech. So again, like, it's good to be authentic. You want to be authentic. I think at some level, people, there's nothing wrong with wanting to be in a space where other people see you as authentic and thinking, hey, I think this is a worthwhile lifestyle. People can see me like this. Maybe they can learn something from it. Maybe I can gain more confidence in being who I am, or have a positive impact. So like, it's normal to want to be seen because you want to believe that your habits, your thoughts, your ways, your actions are things that other people could take encouragement from or could take ideas from. So I think that that's normal. I wouldn't call that necessarily narcissism. Like, I want everybody to see me. No. If you've got a healthy psyche, it could be perfectly healthy to want to be that person in the world. If that's not you, that's perfectly fine too. There's like 8 billion people on the planet. If we were all the same, man, that would be boring. So that part really rings true to me. And then we get to the second half of that, a meaningful contribution through action and speech. And that's meaningful contribution. It's volunteering. It's helping people. It's shared needs. It's something beyond just yourself. Because you know what? If you want to think about it selfishly, you will get something out of it. You absolutely will. But you're also giving something. And you're leading with the giving what other people need. In the end, you're getting something you need too. So it is meaningful. There's a little bit of selfishness. There's a little bit of taking care of yourself in doing stuff like this, because it will improve your life so much. So the next slide talked about some of the stuff we just went through. The technology is a paradox. It really separates us. It gives us a wrong impression about what other people's are lives. So it makes ours look even worse. If we see other people with people and we're like, oh, they're all with people, they're having fun. And you don't see, like, you post a picture of yourself like once every 2 weeks and it's something like that. And then the rest of the 2 weeks, it's kind of, eh. So it gives you the wrong impression. You're not actually connected to the other people on the other end. You're disconnected from the actual people you could be with, whether it's the person next to you in line at the store, your kids are on the kitchen table because of the technology, because your face is down, and everybody is seeing a different world. And there's so much content that, like, everybody is seeing different things, wants to talk about different things because they got different things. So there's much less like in-person opportunities because we're glued to our phones. So some of the potential fixes there are like no phones at the table. Schools are going no phones now. I think it's brilliant. Like, I don't blame society for not figuring it out before, but now we know, like, we've only had these smartphones this crack like with the technology and the apps and the platforms this crack like for how long? Like a little over a decade. And it's just getting more and more faster and faster. And we're learning more about how to apply human psychology to it. And it's wild. So we need to learn how to manage it better. And like, kids not having it at school, that's great. If employers are like, we don't want you to have your phones out at your desk. Like, me too, I'm guilty. I look at my phone sometimes at work. There's pluses and minuses. It's good to give people little breaks and stuff like that. You got to trust them. If you don't trust your employees, you got probably bigger problems than their phone at their desk. So I'm not trying to, please don't institute rules at my place of employment about this, because then you just have to police them and it's bad. If you got a problem with that, you got employees you need to work with to keep them engaged. But if it's businesses that are like, no, we don't want people with their phones out here because we want it loud. Like, we want to hear the conversations. We want people to interact with each other. If it's events where they don't have them, whatever it is, if it's parties where you leave them at the door, like, it's like an anxiety thing. We think we need it all the time. Our phone's tethered to us and we need to check it every time we've got a 2-minute break. Guess how many of those 2-minute breaks you could have a small conversation with someone. Practice some of these skills. Your brain, again, it's designed to get in sync with other people. And if it's not doing that anymore, it can lead to more problems being able to get in sync. And you're like, why am I not in sync with people? You're not taking the opportunities. So to only have this technology in our lives for 15 years, like, how long did we have cars and the Industrial Revolution before we figured out the effect of CO2 on the atmosphere? It's like coming even quicker now. I think we're realizing the impact of our technology on our psychology. We're not, as much as evolution exists and there's plasticity in our brains, I don't think we're designed to deal with that major of a shift that quick. Like, people's brains don't completely rewire themselves in a matter of 10 years, and a species doesn't, and a society doesn't. We're in a learning phase now, where we're learning how to manage this stuff, and we're going to develop more tools I think some of it is software-based tools or hardware-based tools. Some of it is going to come down to just personal responsibility too. And like, imagine junk food became a thing and everyone's like, yay, let's eat junk food. Let's eat junk food. And everyone's eating junk food all day. And like 15 years later, we're all fat, can't even walk out to the mailbox to get our mail. Hopefully we'd figure it out that, hey, we need individually, there's a lot of responsibility we have to take here. Like for me, I've used Stay Free as a tool to track, especially like social networking time. And a lot of it is really trying to find things that I want to do instead of social media when I get the urge. Like I get ebooks. I've got ebooks now on there. I get different tools for doing content creation on my phone instead of needing to be on my laptop. They're all good. I try to even think about the defaults, like your home screen when you log in. Don't put the things you use the most there necessarily. Put the things you want to use the most. Make it harder to get to your social media apps. Make the thing right in your face when you get there. Something that reminds you of the good hobby you're supposed to do. Like, oh, I want to go here and I want to keep writing, or I want to read, or I want to record voice notes a lot. Whatever it is, be intentional. Make the intentional the word of 2026. Intentional and in space, like here and now. Like things that have a physical presence. You're with other people. You're putting the phones down. You're deplugging. You're intentional about doing that. You're intentional about what you're doing with your devices when you have your devices. We could still go on social media. It's great. I'm still going to be there. I am going to be more intentional about tuning my algorithm, seeding it with the authors I would love to read their books, the magazines I want to read, the words to describe the types of pictures I want to see, mountains, sunsets. I want to hear stuff about discipline and motivation. Do a couple of those searches a day for a week, like stuff like that, and you will see your algorithm completely change, and that will help you be intentional. And hopefully you will see less of the stuff that has triggered you in the past that the algorithm has learned is engagement, because the algorithm is neutral. It's not good. It's not bad. It's looking for engagement. And what we engage with and what others engage with trains the algorithm what to show us. So if we're all intentional about this, it's kind of an individual game we can play. We can tune our own algorithms. But if we do the same and share that with other people, and we interact with that type of positive stuff we want to see when we're getting our dopamine fix from social media, it's going to be a good experience. So that's another way to kind of counter some of the problems that technology is imposing. And it's not to say either that social media is entirely bad for loneliness or connection. They've found it's very difficult. It takes a long time and consistent effort to try to build relationships that are purely digital in nature. It is much better at what they call like the pebbling. Like if I've got friends, I only talk to them a couple times a year, but we'll share reels or we'll like share a message like once a week, once every other week at most. And that sort of pebbling kind of keeps that relationship in mind. So we remember to call them once in a while. So we remember to plan something so that we know when we're reminded of these social connections we have. So social media can be very good for that in terms of battling loneliness and establishing for retaining existing connectionships that we have. And they talked, what else in this video? They talk about some psychological interventions that were really useful, were to have like group therapy, where it was a bunch of people that had social anxiety and issues. And basically what it was is they would go around and and this is something you can do individually too. They recommended is like you go out, you have an experience, you go home and you write about it. And what was the thought? What came into your mind when you were about to say something and didn't? Or what was the cue that made you not do it? And you get into a group session where people are saying this. Number one, you write it down. It looks a little bit less scary on paper. You hear somebody else say it, you're like, that's ridiculous. And you're like, oh, wait a minute. Like, I think the same thing. That's ridiculous, even when I think it. So group therapy can help there. And it's also peer support where like you're in a group with other people who are admittedly feeling somewhat social awkward. You're going to feel like you're in a group of your peers and you can help people, and you can help people by letting them help you. And it's like you all help each other and you've got something in common, that this is awkward. So, everybody understands it and everyone's going to get a chance to both be helped and help other people. So that's why Group therapy for social anxiety can be very helpful. Mindfulness was also recommended. That is a whole nother topic I highly recommend you looking into. I don't really do the meditation, but I'm very much into mindfulness, which is just trying to stop any thoughts from taking control of the direction of your mind by focusing on physical sensations and what's actually here and now. So instead of thinking, oh my God, this camera is staring at me, I don't know if anyone's watching this. Am I rambling? Am I making any sense to them? Instead of my brain thinking those things and cutting me off and making me scared and freeze, I just think about like what this countertop feels like underneath my arm, and how at the elbow it seems like it's getting a little heavy. I must be leaning down, or like breathing, or like being in the moment, because you don't want to get stuck in your head when you're doing a monologue like this. Monologues, not just for evil villains. So mindfulness is a whole nother thing we can talk about some other time. It's cool. It's a very useful tactic. It's also very similar to like how I beat anxiety when I had bad anxiety with exercise, with walking and learning to run, and like especially running on like trails where it was very hard. The whole concept is you're getting out of your mind by getting into your body. Mindfulness is getting into your body and paying very close attention to what's around you, like not getting stuck in your head, but what is the other? What else is around me? What is the experience of interacting with it? What does it smell like? What does it look like? What does it taste like? All those sorts of things. So mindfulness is a good way to, again, kind of kill those negative anxiety type thoughts that pop up in your head right before or as you're thinking about approaching someone and saying something, or making you overthink what you want to say to them or what you're going to say next, or going, this is another one you're going to go through. I know you've gone through this if you've ever had social anxiety. You want to game plan the conversation. Like, I'm going to start here, and if they say this, I'm going there, and like build out this whole decision tree of how it could go. It's a waste of time. Know yourself, be curious about other people, ask questions, be appreciative. That's the way to go. Be mindful. So yeah, the video ends up saying it's a lasting solution requiring collective effort to rebuild the social fabric by building creative communities, workplaces, and public spaces that prioritize and encourage authentic, ongoing human encounter over efficiency and private accumulation. I think a lot of it is still personal. You can find ways to be less lonely. The technology can enable it. Like if you're looking for your like-minded group, check out meetup.com, check out Facebook groups with a priority on things you can do in person, face-to-face. All good. So that was loneliness, authenticity, and connection. The Gemini summary and my crib notes. I hope you like that. So what do we have? That is actually our show for today. I thank you all for coming. I am asking you for your support. If you enjoyed part of this show, share the show notes with people. I'm going to leave those up there. That's a new thing I'm going to be doing as part of the show. If you don't want to watch the whole thing, you can read my crib notes, watch the videos, check out the apps, all that fun stuff. I am asking for your support, though, by sharing, liking, subscribing, commenting, all that good stuff.